Hey, it's Angela Wolf, and welcome to Behind the Scenes. And would you know that right when you get ready to go live, my computer decides to do an update? Yeah. So I apologize. I'm a few minutes behind schedule today, but welcome to the party. If you've never been here before, say hi, say where you're from. This is our usual Wednesday show, and we are continuing along with our Linda Tunic Sewalong. So we are live on Angela Wolf's Facebook page, YouTube, and our private group. So you can watch in any of those areas, make comments, questions. I can see everything that you're doing. So how is your day today? Hey, Angie, great to see you. Yeah, so we always laugh. Okay, look at the floor behind me. Can you tell I've been working? Oh my gosh, it looks like a bomb hit in here. Literally, that back cutting table is like fiasco. I guess if it didn't look good though, you would think that I wasn't doing anything today. So a couple new things for today. Fashion Sewing Club members, I just sent you an email because this afternoon we are going to start our sew along with the lacy, which is what I'm wearing. So this is the new pattern. It is free to all Fashion Sewing Club members. We've only been waiting months for this, right? So it has like lace down the back. It's a really sporty look. So you can do this with lace. You could do it with mesh. So I have another one over there that's made out of blue. It has like a blue 4-way stretch that I make leggings out of. And these little sections here in the back, I did a stretch mesh, which is really cool. I've been dying to wear this top, and I purposely have not, just because the pattern was put on the back burner. So finally, it's here. So we have two new patterns to choose from, that and the Bella, which I was going to wear today, but I just pulled it out of my wash. So you've seen this one before. This is the Bella. This one's free if you get the lace embroidery collection. So this one has all the embroidery on here, and some of you wanted to see this up close. So I thought that I would leave this off. And this one also is mesh with knit. And if you look closely, looks like confetti, doesn't it? So that's the schedule for today. So Fashion Sewing Club members, this afternoon at 4 o'clock, we're going to start sewing this top. Don't forget. All right, so on the other side, we are going to finish sewing our Linda Tunic. So we're not finished yet, but I will say somebody, let me see who did this. Somebody brought up the best looking Linda Tunic I've seen. It's out of this fabric. I just glanced and I missed who it was though. So now I got to go check and I'll share it with you because it was fantastic. It made me actually want to kind of update this top a little bit with some rivets. So do you guys remember which group that was shared in? I'll just double check here. Oh, Clovis, everybody's been sharing such cute things lately. Yeah, Janet, the missus is out. It's in there. All right, so I have to share this. You ready? Make sure I share the right screen. Kelly, this is the best photo ever. So we always do this competition where you show like what I'm doing. Look at Kelly's cat. Kelly's cat is watching our live show. So you can see my hands down below. That must have been, what were we doing there? I can't tell, but that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's like the best. That's my favorite photo of the week, Kelly. You made my day. All right, so let me just go and show you because you guys have been really busy lately. There have been some fantastic tops being made, but I just have to see on here. Oh, Clovis. This is absolutely the best. Clovis made the Linda Tunic. Check that out. I love the contrasting sleeves. Absolutely love it. And I love the way that you did the buttons in the front. It completely changed the look of the top. So simple, very classy. And you can see there's the sleeves. I love the way that you did the contrasting fabric for the sleeve too. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. There was a few more in here. Kelly made the Rachel. I think this is the Rachel, isn't it? Yeah. So Kelly made the Rachel. We'll have to see if your cat likes that one. Your sewing room is so cute, by the way. I love the walls. So if I didn't mention this, in January, we're going to be doing a week-long Organize Your Space setup. It'll be on the Facebook Live here and on the Brother Sews page. So be sure if you have any tips for us to let me know, because you can come live on the show. All right, and here was Beverly's. Beverly, this color is so good on you. Now I know why you bought the blue fabric in the fabric stash sale last week. This looks great. Gorgeous fabric. I love the way she did the pleat in the back. Oh my gosh, so fun. Yes, and so I see some of you saying, why isn't my name showing up? Well, if you're commenting in one of my Facebook groups, because we are live in that too, for some reason Facebook won't let your name show up. You show up more like this. I guess it's Facebook's new privacy. I don't know. Go figure, right? Okay, hold on. I don't want to show any of the fitting ones. And was this Sharon's? Yeah, okay, Sharon, this was my favorite photo last week. You guys are killing me with these animals. Her dog is so cute. He was here when we did our pants class. Oh my gosh, look at that. He's sound asleep on her couture jacket. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, you gotta love it. All right, so now I have to go. I think it's the other group. Let me go into the other group. Now, if you go into Sewing Angela Patterns group, that's the free group that anybody can join. You just have to sew my patterns and you're in there. But oh, here it is, Darlene. It was you. Darlene, look at this. She bought this fabric earlier. This is the same fabric I'm using except a lighter color. So see, mine's a little darker. Look at how cute her top turned out. I absolutely love this. And she added rivets through here. Oh, Darlene, this one just made my day. So I have a question for you, Darlene. You did a much better job marking where your print here is going to go according to the bust. At least it looks like you did on there. So I'm just wondering if you have to wear a tank under it or you're all good. Because that's so cute. And I love the hem. And my next question for you, Darlene, if you're watching today, is did you do anything for the roll-up on the sleeve or did you just leave it? That's my next question. I just love that. So cute. I agree, Denise. And Denise, I just saw something that you were sewing. It's not my pattern, but they were super cute on Instagram. Great pants, by the way. So anybody want to come and clean up that hot mess behind me? I've been cutting and cutting. And yesterday I cut out 3 jackets. I am ready to sew. Is the birthday sewing week going to happen? I have to keep you posted. So far, mom's surgery number 1 went fantastic. Cataract surgery. And if surgery 2 is going to be a go, then we might possibly have sewing week, birthday week for the whole entire week. You'll just have to stay tuned for that. So in the meantime, would you like to go start sewing this? I'll show you what I've done so far. So I have, let's see, there's the sewing. Let's go to the pressing table. And don't worry, you can ask your questions and stuff, and I will come back and answer them in case I miss them while I'm over here making a mess. So if you remember last week, we sewed in this entire area here. Now I went back and ripped out all my basting stitches because I didn't want to have, I wanted this to be sewn permanently. And I ran this through the serger. So let's go ahead and give this a nice good pressing. The other thing I want to double check, I still have a few pink threads I got to pick out of there. So just ignore those. Those are from last week. I want to make sure this lays nice and flat, and guess what? It is. So I had to pull that out just a little bit. Remember, I was kind of leaning over the video camera trying to do this, and that looks wonderful. And I like the way that we lined up the plackets with all of the print here. I think it looks fantastic. So let's give that a little pressing. I have not done the top stitching on that yet, so I'll do that. And this time, I have to use black thread this time, so you're going to have to bear with me to see that, all right? Again, I'm using an iron shoe, so it's okay to press on this velvet. So this is silk velvet. Oh, and you know what? Somebody messaged me yesterday about this pressing unit, and I forgot to get back to you. So if you, I'm sorry about that. I will make sure I do it today when we hang up off of our live show. All right, how's it looking? Pretty good. You know, I don't even know if I need to go ahead and top stitch around that. It's laying nice and flat. And then the last thing we did last week is we attached our front shoulder, but I ripped this out and I actually cut off some of this side edge. So let me just move this over so you can see. I'm just going to press this back. I haven't serged it yet, but I will. All right, and let's do this side. Just making sure that this is like a hot steam. I just want to make sure that no water comes out. Okay, now I'm going to go back and serge this, but what I did is I took out, I just thought this fabric was a little bit too thick for those gathers, so I took it out. So all I did was sew my top together in the same spot here, and then just trimmed off this edge so it was nice and even. Okay? Now the next step we have is this is the back. Actually, I'll show you over here. I think it'll be easier. Come on over to my sewing party. Okay, so here's the back piece. I agree, Jenny. I think it looks more sophisticated without it as well. So this is what we have so far. Here's the front, and it's all finished. I like this without the gathers. I just think it lays nicer. It's a little bit softer, and not so much fabric there. Because the tunic lays off your shoulders a little bit anyways, right? Hi, Connie. My mom's doing great. And no, I didn't go to my mom's. She ended up, my sister-in-law's drove her, and she's doing fantastic, by the way. Okay, so now this is the part we're going to sew next. Now, I took off my Move It foot. So last week, if you watched me use the Move It foot, the digital dual feed Move It foot, which sewed over these layers just gorgeous and kept them together, prevented them from slipping, right? Each end ended up the same. And today, I'm just going to use a regular foot because it's easier for me to see over the camera with you on here. All right? You like it better without gathering? I do too. All right, so I'm just going to pin this just for a second so you can see what we're going to do. You have this whole extra part here. And what do we want to do with that? Well, I could do gathers again, but I think I'm going to do a pleat because I think it'll lay better. So instead of doing gathers, we're going to do a reverse pleat. It'll look similar to that because you need that extra fabric because I like the flowiness of the top. All right, so let's go back over to the pressing station. And we'll pin this into place. And by the way, Joe will be coming on in December. Some of you guys keep asking about my dress form, so he'll be coming on in December. I'll give you the date as soon as I know. All right, let's go back over here. And I'll give you some tips for how I do this. I'll just use the ironing board for now. I could do this over on another area, but this camera will be fine. You can see okay, right? I have it really well lit here, so I think it's kind of bright. If you can't see it, well, sorry. Sorry about your luck. All right, so fold this in half. I want to mark the center back. And I could do this with a snip. Let's see, why don't we go ahead and just do a little snip on here. I'm just snipping like 1/8 of an inch. So there's my snip. See that? That's how I know where the center back is. Now, let's do the same thing. Here's the bottom back panel that's going to be attached. Let's do the same thing here. Fold it in half. I know, my monster scissors. And do a snip right there. So there's my snip. You can see that. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to fold with right sides together. I'm just going to pin. I know I don't use many pins, and I'm using silk pins, so they're super, super sharp. I'll just pin this way. So I'm going to pin from each outside edge towards the center. This is the easiest way to do one of these pleats. See, there's my center right here, right? I'm going to pin this way all the way to that spot. Okay, now let's start at this end. Pin. And let's pin all the way to that little notch again, right to here. So I have a few options, and I'll just walk you through both of these options. So my options are, I can simply lay this little part flat right here. I'm just going to pin so you can see it. I can lay that flat and stitch right across this entire area, and then it would make a little kick pleat. Or I could actually, because this fabric is a little bit tricky, I'm going to do it this way, where find right where that center back meets. Double check that your yoke is the same width as your bottom of your fabric. So if I unpin this, let's see what we have. Is it the same? It looks like it is. So the bottom is the same width. So I basically pinned a pleat right here. See my pins? And it looks like it's the same. It will make it the same over here. So now we're going to go to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to stitch from the top down in a straight line. That's not a very straight pinning line, but in a straight line. I'm going to pin further than I'm going to stitch. I'm just going to stitch maybe down 1.5 inches. Okay? So meet me at the sewing machine. All right. I see somebody asked about silk pins. You know, I use silk pins on everything because it doesn't puncture my fabric. They're super sharp, don't forget. And you saw last week when I pinned myself, my goodness gracious, I bled all over the place. Thankfully, this fabric is dark, right? All right, so let me bring you in a little closer. How's that? Can you see okay? Got my yoga move over the camera. Okay, let's go here. I'm using a 3.0 stitch. And I'm lining up my folded edge right along here. That will help me keep my stitch straight. Because if I don't, by the way, what happens is when I stitch through here, this looks so curvy. I don't want to follow those lines, right? All right. So I've stitched from here to here. All right, let's go back over to the pressing station. Hey, I see Australia popped in the house. I wonder, we used to do this where everybody, when they would say hi, they would say what country they're from. It's so awesome to see that we are sewing from all over the world during these live shows. It makes me so excited. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press this. I'm centering this open. So just like stick your finger in there. Don't press over your finger, obviously. And for those of you that are just waking up, that would be something that I would be like sound asleep and press my finger. That would not be good. All right, a little steam going. All right, so now what I have, I'm just going to pin this just so you can see what it looks like from the right side. All right, back to the right side of the fabric. Oops, of course my pin fell out. This is what I have now. So I've got this nice reverse pleat right here, which will lay nice and flat, but still gives me all that extra fabric down here for the flowiness, right? It's your word for the day, flowiness. So I'm going to stitch. I'm just going to put a few more pins in here because I can tell this fabric is so slinky, slippery. So when I pin this, even if my cutting isn't straight, I just want to make sure that my sewing is straight, if you know what I mean. I'm just repinning this just a little bit. And if you've missed any of these episodes, you can go back and watch. Some of these are on Brother Facebook page, Brother YouTube page. As you know, I'm a brand ambassador for Brother. And some of these are on my page as well. And one of these days, I'll get them all put into my blog so you can just watch one after the other. Last week, by the way, we did a marathon. I put every episode of It's So Easy with this Linda Tunic on there. And then I commented in between, which was kind of fun. Oh, goodness gracious. I've been over there pinning away. and you can't even see. So whoever just messaged me, I can't see your name on here. You're the best. Let's go back over to the, oh goodness. Well, see, I could have pressed my finger and you wouldn't have even known it. All right, here we go. Let me show you. Well, fact, you're the best. Yeah, I can't even use any excuse for that. Okay, so this is what I've pinned, and let me just show you one more time what I did. See, these all fell out, it didn't matter. I had to do it over anyways. So when you look at the right side, this is where my pleat is. See, it's a reverse pleat right here. And then the fabric will lay nice and soft. Doesn't that look great? So you just got to listen to me for like 10 minutes while I pinned. That's all. That's all you missed. So this is what I have. I have it pinned. And there's this side. And on this side, this is where the one thing you did miss is where, this is where we sewed that little pleat. I pressed this in place where it's nice and flat. I stuck my finger in there, laid it flat. There we go. Now when I sew this, I'm leaving the bottom fabric, this is the bottom half of the fabric, up just a little bit so I can see it and I can tell that it's crooked. So I'm just going to stitch. And then when I serge, it'll be nice and straight. Okay, now, before I go sew, did I miss any questions while I was talking to myself for like 10 minutes? Just wondering. Yeah, don't you think Denise looks better than Gathers? I agree, Jan. Totally. Okay, so let's go sew. And I'll take you to the right spot. Nope. How about there? Look good? Yeah. So I'm actually just gonna, let me just lift my table up just a little bit here. Then I can get a little higher. I think you'll be able to see just a little bit better. Okay. How's that? Now I'm not leaning over the camera. The camera's leaning over me. Okay, now I'm giving myself a very generous seam allowance here. You would not be doing this because you would be paying attention at home, not leaning over a camera, not live. So you can see I have my bottom fabric sticking out just a little bit. That's fine, but I can see it's crooked. Look at how crazy crooked that is. Right? It doesn't matter. I'm going to sew a straight line on here, and then I'm going to serge it, which will cut off all those crooked edges. So let's start with just a little back stitch. Now, if you have one of the Brother machines with the move it foot, this is where you'd want to use it. If you don't, here's a little trick. I hold my fabric up and I'm holding both layers together. Now don't sew through one of these pins. And if you hold those together, it prevents them from moving around. If you're using the PQ1500, which you know I love, it has that little adapter on there that will allow the fabric to stitch. It kind of like slides through the layers of fabric. So since I'm not using that machine, I'll just be quiet now. But if you have that one, you know what I'm talking about. All right, stitch over that. That was some very crooked cutting there. Now, if there's anything crooked on the armholes, I'll just trim it because there'll be just a little bit maybe. Okay. Let's go back to the pressing table. I will meet you there. Voila. Okay, what do we have? We have a beautiful reverse pleat. Look at how nice that looks. I'll face it this way. Well, first, let me give it a little pressing first. I'm going to go back and serge this to make sure this is all even. I will press it towards, I usually press these towards the placket here, or the yoke, I should say. Let's press our reverse pleat. Okay, looks pretty nice, right? And now take a look. Oh my gosh, that looks fantastic. So you can see, there's the little hidden pleat right there. And the way the fabric is, let me give it one more pressing. Again, I'm using an iron shoe. Don't you dare press your velvet without using an iron shoe, or you'll be calling me. My messages will be blowing up that you ruined the fabric. But look at how nice that looks. So it gave a little bit of extra room here that you need to put the top on, and it lays nice and flat. Okay, so next step is we need to sew on the sleeves. Now, I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the sleeve, but that's okay. I can decide here in a moment. In the pattern directions, you would actually have already sewn on your button and your little placket. But I couldn't decide if I'm going to do that, because then it would kind of hang like this, or if I'm going to leave it flat. So for my sleeve, let me just see. I always give myself a little one notch to the front. Looks like that's one notch, and here's my two notches. See, two little snips? That's my back, which means I'm putting this on backwards. So the next step, I'm going to actually insert my sleeve before I stitch in my sleeves. Now, I'm going to pin this in, and I'm going to baste it. But then after I'm not here on camera with you, I'm going to go back and serge these edges. So I'm just going to pin it so you can see what you're going to do. How's that? Is that fair? So this is how I usually fix my sleeve. Now remember, this seam is not your shoulder seam. Your shoulder seam is more over here, because the yoke goes over a little bit over your front and over the back. So if you start pinning from one side seam, if you just kind of keep moving your sleeve around to make it fit this edge, because that's a straight edge and this is curved. A lot of people have problems with the sleeve, so I just kind of keep sliding it and pinning. Now on my pattern, there is not any ease. 0 ease in the sleeve cap for this top. So if you have to fit your sleeve into this area, the fabric on your sleeve should be the exact same as the blouse, okay? This is not like a jacket where you have to press the sleeve cap and press it and steam it to make it fit. It should be equal values of the length of fabric. So there's my sleeve. Let's go baste that together and then we'll go back to the dress form. Any questions so far? Just making sure before I go over there. Oh, I see a couple. Are you going to line the shoulder? Angie, I'm not going to. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I kind of tested that. There is another yoke piece, but I'm not going to be using it. But I still could. I'm just going to baste the sleeve in now just so you can see what it looks like on my dress form. But I could use like a piece of black silk chiffon as the inside yoke piece. I could. I probably won't, but we'll see. You never know. Darlene, did you use, I'm looking at yours. You didn't use any. Let's look at Darlene's real quick, just to compare. She did not. If you did, you used a really thin piece of solid fabric. It looks great though. Oh, on the sleeve. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on the sleeve yet. So let's go to the sewing machine. Maybe you guys can help me decide. Since you all helped me figure out what I was gonna use for my jacket yesterday. Win stopped in yesterday and he's like, how many jackets do you have cut out? I said 4. He said, why don't you just make 1? I go, because that would be no fun at all. Why waste your time making 1 when you could make 4? And if I'm going to do all the hand stitching for the couture style, why not just sit and do hand stitching while I'm binge watching a movie or something, right? Okay, so I'm changing my stitch length to a 5.0. That's more of a basting stitch, just so I can see what this looks like on the dress form and show you how I sew this, okay? Then I'll go back and serge. If I had the serger here, it's over in the corner. I suppose I could go serge and come back, but that's right. This will give you the idea. I have the serger all set up for our lacy sew-along, our knit top for this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Okay, now here's a little tip for you. When I'm sewing the sleeves, remember the sleeve's on the bottom here, and this is the shoulder seam. I actually take the fabric from the garment and pull it over and then hold it to the sleeve, like that. Pull it over. And then you let the machine just kind of turn the fabric for you. I get my hand out of the way. And I'll do the same thing all the way around until I get to the bottom curve on the sleeve. So you kind of just hold the fabric and together. The top layer to the bottom layer. And if you do that, it keeps them together and you don't have to worry about having an accident hole in your sleeve. Okay. Go back to the dress form, and then I will take your questions. Patty, do I remember which episode you removed the gathers on the yoke? I don't. But Patty, you're in the Fashion Sewing Club, right? So go in there and search Linda Tunic gathers, and it'll probably come up. Because I think I showed that in a live show too. For this top, Yamama, I actually use this. I stitch the sleeve first and then I stitch all the way down just for this top. Just for this style, it's easy to do. I do it for a lot of my knit tops as well. Not for jackets though. Okay, so how are we looking? And here we go. I love this reverse. You can't even see it on here unless you're really close, right? So there's my little hidden reverse pleat. and it still gives me the nice flowy fabric. Oh, I just love it. Okay, now back to here's the side. So once this is sewn, closed, there's my sleeve. And I'm just going to pin this because let's see how well we did lining up this print. How's the side? Oh, she looks pretty good. That's like the happy dance. And then here's my sleeve. And the sleeve actually, when that is sewn, I'll just put a pin to hold it in place. Pretty good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it like an 8.5. 8.5? Yeah. Why not, right? This looks nice. This looks great. So my last steps will be to sew in the other sleeve, sew the side seam from one end to the other. But before I sew the side seam though, I'm going to probably sew in the other sleeve and I might baste the sides together. I'm going to try it on and determine if I'm going to put a band on here, because I could. See how this kind of gathers up nice and softly? I could put a little band on here. Actually, I'll just grab a piece of fabric here. I always have that laying around, right? I could put this in, and let's just say this was sewn to right here. The fabric is so soft that it could gather up just a little bit like the Linda Tunic. And that's not bad. Actually, it looks kind of nice. Or I can leave this down and maybe add a little bit of elastic here, kind of like my bell. Or put elastic at the bottom where it is a kind of a bell sleeve. So where's my other sleeve? Here, let me check. I could do like this sleeve. This is the Bella knit top. If I see how it has a little elastic at the end, that would look pretty cute on there, over there as well. I guess you guys could vote. Do you think I should do elastic at the bottom? Should I just do like Linda Tunic is supposed to look with a little turn up, or just leave it? I'll wait to see your comments. So question, will you sew the whole side seam in one long seam from the bottom armpit to bottom of sleeve? Yes, I will. I will sew from here. Here you go. I will sew from here all the way down to here in one long nice seam. I will serge the edge and we're ready to go. Oh, you guys are all saying elastic. Elastic, elastic. Leave it. Elastic. Well, you guys are tough. Bell sleeve without the cuff. Hey, Janice, how's your drapes coming along? Leave it or ruffle on the end? A ruffle would look good on the end. I guess I'll just have to play with it. So what I'm going to do, and you could do too, is you sew in your other sleeve. So a lot of you are sewing the Linda Tunic, and don't forget to tag me in that so I can see them, especially on Instagram. So I'm going to sew in the other sleeve. First, I'll go serge those layers. And, you know, you guys were asking about the second piece of fabric. So in the pattern, in the actual pattern, there's an inside piece to this to finish the edges. But, you know, I can't see that seam, and I've got a huge seam. I haven't even serged it yet, and you can't see it. So I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm not even going to mess with it. I could and just do like a burrito method to enclose it like I do in the pattern, but I think it looks fine. Yeah. So, hey, Blaine, I actually just got your message. I'll call you as soon as I'm not live here. Wolfpack says hi. So Blaine and I are working on a really fun project, by the way, and the Fashion Sewing Club is voting on some new sewing mats. Proud member of the Wolfpack. And Karina, are you in here today, or are you still sleeping because you worked so hard yesterday? Karina put together a really cool Facebook, it goes over your Facebook photo that says proud member of the Wolfpack. I just love it. You guys are so much fun. You make my day too. So she's working on that right now. And I think, what else do you need to know about? there's going to be a really fun contest on Instagram. So watch closely on my page. Okay. It will probably be up. Let's see what's Wednesday this weekend. So watch for that. And also, yes, Veronica, this is my pattern. It's the Linda Tunic, the one behind me. And this is the lacy. Let's see what else. Tomorrow at noon is, we're going to be having the Brother Educators on again, and they always are a wealth of knowledge. So if you have a Brother machine, you never want to miss those shows. You can go back and watch them too on their Brother YouTube page or Facebook. And I think there was a couple more things. Oh, Jan, we'll get it to work on your Facebook page. No worries. Somebody asked me for, I'll get it for you. Just a second. I'm going to get you a discount. That's what you wanted, right? So here you go. Now, Fashion Sewing Club, you already have your discount. Okay, here you go. This is the pattern. I'll bring this up. So here's the lacy that I'm wearing now. It's in PDF format. You can see this is the one I'm actually wearing. That's what it looks like in the back without my hair in the way. And these are the 3 versions. So this is why the pattern took so long. I said to this before, I shouldn't be such an overachiever, right? Just get her done. Well, some of you said, I don't want a tank. I want short sleeve. And someone said, I want long sleeve. And so, of course, I was like, well, let's just make the whole thing, right? So there is the tank, the short sleeve, and the long sleeve. And that's what it looks like. So that's one thing that you'll get a discount to. And there's one more here. And don't worry, I'm getting the discount. I'm multitasking. I'm getting your discount too. We should do something fun. Let's see. I got it. How about an early Black Friday? Yeah. And I think that would be perfect. Let me get it in here for you. And do you want it to include everything or just the patterns? You want the Linda? Discount for the pattern. Oh, Sonia, the cabinet that I'm using with my luminaire here it's a horn cabinet. So if you visit your Brother dealer, a lot of them sell that cabinet. And this cabinet actually, it goes higher and lower. The whole thing, when you saw me lifting that up, the whole thing will lift high. So sometimes I'll hurt my back from sitting too long and I can lift the entire thing up and sew standing up. Or I can bring it down and sew sitting down. Or on my new chair, that little ball thing that's supposed to make you ergonomically correct. Yeah, I'm not really sold on that yet, but I can make it really low. So it's awesome. And it fits the luminaire. The luminaire can go in it like you saw me sewing, or it can lift up so you can do the embroidery. And if you want the exact number, if you message me, Sonia, I'll send you the exact number. It is fabulous. I agree, Dobsy. Okay, so here is the Bella knit. This is the one I was showing you. And this has 2 versions. The long sleeve with the elastic, and this version I've sewn, but I don't have here. And it has kind of a loose flowy sleeve. So this pattern, one of the inspiration was for the lace collection, the embroidery collection. So I thought, how cool to have the sleeve. Now you could do the sleeve out of the same fabric, a knit and a knit, right? Or you could do it out of maybe a mesh or a silk chiffon. Silk chiffon with a knit would be gorgeous. So that would be nice and loose. All right, so here is your coupon code. I'm going to just post it right here in the chat. And this will be for 15% off anything on, let's see. I'm going to remove this. I'll bring my banner up. If you go here and then click on shop, it's actually Angela Wolf Patterns. But we were going to make this so it's good all the way through let's see, next week. Oh my goodness, is next week's Thanksgiving already? That means my birthday is on Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, the 29th. Sunday's so boring to have a birthday too. Well, actually, every day's boring nowadays, especially in Michigan. Every day is going to be like a Sunday. So why don't we make this good until the day after my birthday? So this coupon will be good all the way until December 30th. It's a little bit past Black Friday, but it'll cover Black Friday weekend. And okay, we also have Cyber Monday, right? So why don't we make it good through December 3rd, which will be right after our live show. And I'm going to make it good for interfacing, any of the sewing kits, which there will be a few sewing kits for this, but there are sewing kits for the leggings. How about the woolly poly thread? You want some of that? We'll add that in there. Fabric, the clapper, and how about this? Should we add, I guess we're just adding everything, huh? Why not, right? And for those of you that wanted the embroidery, don't forget, there's collection number 1. This was the jeans I was looking for yesterday when I was on with Cindy. So why don't we do the discount on both of the CDs too? Well, they're not CDs, they're downloadables. That's my collaboration with Dime and any of the stabilizer. I think that should do it. I think I finally just caught up on shipping from our fabric stash sale. So, okay, it's there. Oh, you're welcome, Arlene. Oh, Wilson, or Liz. Are you Liz or Wilson? Either way, Liz, happy birthday on November 28th. That's awesome. Oh, Karen has an anniversary. This month has been so, oh yes, Sonia, it covers all the patterns, even PDF ones. Oh, Karen, it's your husband's birthday too? Well, then I guess it is a great day. Sunday will be a fantastic day. Oh, Christina, I'm so glad. So you got the stretch blue tweed fabric. So this is what I'm working on this weekend, by the way, in case you want to see. Let me just take this down. I'll leave it up for a minute. Hold on one second. I'll show you what I'm working on. Okay, so I cut this out last week, right? Let me just take this off of here. And I kept just enough fabric because I have this in bronze too. We were going to do this for the couture jacket, but it's not good for, it's just good for a regular jacket. Actually, it would be a really cute dress. So I have just enough fabric left over for sleeves and a skirt. Not that I'm wearing skirts right now, but I'm going to finish the sleeves and I'll take your vote on this too. I'm thinking it's going to be the Evelyn jacket, but I'm thinking of adding silver zippers through here. Do you think that was going to be pretty cute? So I'm working on that this weekend. I'm working on, here's another one. Would you like to see my bin? I just finished washing all the fabric. Do you want to see what I'm going to be working on for birthday sewing week? I'll go get it. All right, I can't lift it because it's too heavy and I'll hurt my back. But this is what I'm going to be sewing. Everything is washed and dried. Don't forget, by the way, you should always wash and dry your fabrics before you sew. You want to know why? Because you don't want them to turn out too short. So some of these have been from the fabric stash sale. I have some new fabrics that just arrived yesterday, but I haven't washed yet, but you can see these, okay? This is gorgeous. It's a rayon. Now, the fabrics I'm showing you here are probably not available anymore because I took the last piece from the fabric stash sale. So, isn't this gorgeous? I kept enough to make 2 tops. I love this color. So it's super soft. If you have any tips for what you'd like me to make out of this, let me know. But you know my go-to is like the ruche tee. But I'd like to make another Shirley. So, okay, here's one. And everyone in the Fashion Sewing Club. So those of you that don't know, the Fashion Sewing Club, we do fabric stash sales where I hold up fabric and then they can purchase the fabric. It's very easy. They get first dibs. So a lot of this never made it to the website. So this fabric here, I'm dying to make something out of. I'm not sure. Susan, I'm thinking I might have to work on that one pattern next, but I'm not saying which one it is, and I'm not giving a date, but isn't this gorgeous? It has such a nice drape. Yep, that's it. Black Friday 15. Thank you, by the way. Okay. And I'm thinking this one should be, this is another sparkly one with a knit, nice stretch. I'm thinking this should be the Shirley. So if it has like a little wrap, I think that's going to be gorgeous. So just interesting for you. This one, which almost looks like metal, has a nice stretch. It's not too stretchy though, so I couldn't do a ruche tee. It'd have to be something that has a drape. Actually, I could just like cut it like this and put 2 little ties and we'd be good to go. That would be a very quick sew along, wouldn't it? Okay, the back of this fabric though, you can still see some of the sparkles on the back here. This one has sparkles, but on the back, it's a really soft rayon. Totally different look. Isn't that interesting? But this one I think would be really cute as a Shirley. This one has to be drapey. All right, what else do I have in here? Oh, this piece here. Now I do have, I think, one piece of this left. Somebody didn't want their, so how it works in the Fashion Sewing Club is if they say they want the fabric and then they change their mind, it goes to the next person. But I think there's one more piece of this. Phyllis, did you get this fabric? I cannot remember. This, it almost looks like a leopard, but it's really soft. This one, I think I'm going to do somewhat of a sweater style. Maybe, I mean, I'm really big into layering these days. So, especially when we're home all the time. So sometimes I'll go work out and then we'll come into the office or work out in the middle of the day just to keep my energy level up. So this would be really nice as just a nice loose baggy sweater. Maybe a Chloe trench, but turned into a sweater. Chloe trench, AKA sweater. The backside, it's not finished. I mean, so you didn't get that fabric. Phyllis, I cannot remember who got this fabric. I'll think of it. I don't know why I thought it was you. But that's one idea. So this really isn't my color. It's just kind of a plain, but you need a couple sweaters like that, right? How about in the It's So Easy episode where I did the square sweater? And if I finish the inside edge, then it would open up like this. That wouldn't be bad. Okay. Hey, Trisha, welcome back. You thought I'd be done already, right? I'm long-winded today. Well, it's because we started late. This is beautiful. I'm going to make a gazillion tops out of this. Now, I need these for our next taping of It's So Easy. It looks orange on screen, but it's actually a coral color. So I've got some of that. And let's see what else in here. Ooh, now I am going to order more of this because this sold out so quickly. This is a rayon knit. It looks bluish on camera, but it is a rich, deep green. It's absolutely beautiful. I washed it. It has a nice stretch. I see a lot of knits in my future, wouldn't you say? All right, and here's one more piece. This is like a purpley blue. And I haven't made up my mind yet. This is more of a scuba knit, which I have this in like 8 colors. So I can't decide if I'm going to do a jacket with some zippers, if it's going to be more of a loose sweater style. I don't know. I'm loving like little workout jackets that look kind of dressy. We're taking the workout to the office, whatever our office is these days. All right, and I have one more piece. This one. This, I either going to do, I already did a tank top, remember? That I basted together that I wore last week. I would love to do a Shirley and kind of play with the lines on this, but I haven't made up my mind yet. So any suggestions would be great. And then I also have 4 couture jackets I'm working on right now. That's about it. That's about it for the weekend. Did you wash them all at the same time? I washed all of the blues together. I washed the 2 sparkles together, and I washed I always wash colors together. So if it's blues and blacks, those might go together. Anything that has sparkles or shine, those go together because you know what happens. You end up with sparkles all over the place. And corals and reds together. I didn't have any whites. Oh, it was you, Denise. You got that fabric? No, Denise, I cannot wait to see what you make, though. She got 3 pieces of fabric. There's one that's like a wild print. I think I have it. Hold on. Was it this one? I found another bolt of this. This is going to be super awesome. I'm thinking this will have to be maybe, I don't know, maybe a new pattern. But in the meantime, I have over there on the cutting table a bunch of lace because I'm going to cut a few more of these tops because these could look really dressy, but also used for workout. Delia, yes, I use cool water. I can't find woolite anymore, so I use some non-scent not dish soap, but machine wash soap. Oh, Mary, did you get that piece? What are you going to make with it? I agree. It's got to be some kind of sweater. Oh, Denise, you did get that one. Yeah, though that's going to be really good looking. So, Mary, my washer and dryer at the office are not hooked up. I couldn't get an electrician around here for the life of us right now. They're all so busy. So I took it home and washed, which I don't usually do, but I did. Everybody say, did you get your washer dryer hooked? No, I would love to, though, because I've got a whole batch of fabric to hand dye. So if it doesn't get hooked up, next time Wynn goes out of town for a day or goes to work for the day or isn't paying attention, I might have to just bring it home and finish it. Oh, that's a good idea. Down the side of the leggings. That would be great. A black and white scuba knit. Oh, that sold out, Liz. That did sell out. So I'll be having another fabric stash sale because I just received about 15 more bolts of fabric. When I get good deals, I bring them in because I want some of it and I need some of it for It's So Easy. And then you guys are all stuck at home too, so why not, right? I don't have a date for birthday week yet because I might be gone that week. But technically, it usually starts somewhere right after Thanksgiving. All right, any more questions for me? Otherwise, I'm going back to sewing. Oh, hey, Susie, great to see you. Dreaming of a fabric vault. There is a vault back there, but it's not temperature controlled, so it holds the boxes that ships your fabric. Oh, hey, Susan, Steve, I'm in. Any day you want to come and hook it up. That would be fantastic. I have all of the wiring. I have all the stuff for the water. I just need, well, that would be a plumber too. Can Steve play plumbing too? I don't think that came out right, but Sonia, what pattern would you recommend for a beginner? So Wolfpack, help Sonia. What would be a good pattern for a beginner? I would say the ruche tee is really easy, but the Delilah is super easy. It's an easy knit to sew. I do have an online class that teaches you how to sew knits if you need help with that. That's on the Angela Wolf Academy. Just go to angelawolf.com and all these links are there. Christina says the ruche tee. Yeah, I would say the ruche tee or the Delilah would be the 2 easiest. If your name isn't showing up, it's because you're commenting in the Angela Wolf Patterns group. And so what you need to do is next time I schedule a live, give my software permission to show your face, and then you'll show up. Yeah, because we're live in the Angela Wolf Patterns group, Angela Facebook group, and YouTube to make it easier for you to find. Esther says the Delilah. So here's the Delilah. In case you don't know what pattern that is, I'll just bring it up here for you. Oh, Denise, yours is the 16th next month? Well, I know that we're doing like daily live shows that week, so it will be kind of a birthday sew along for you. Okay, so here, let me bring this up. That's a free pattern right here if you want the tote bag, and I show you how to do the embroidery. The Chloe trench is, I would say, more intermediate. Jeans are definitely intermediate. The Evelyn is intermediate. Oh, there's the Delilah. Did I just pass it? Oh, wait. What about the Kate skirt? Do you like skirts, Sonia? So this one here, this is really easy to sew. There's 9 variations in that top. Short sleeve, long sleeve, slits. You probably seen me wear this top like every day in the summer. This one right here. That's my favorite. I wore that one a couple weeks ago. Another one that would be easy for you if you like skirts is this. That Jenny's not out yet. Some of these I just have up here, but they're not out yet. The Kate skirt. This would be an easy one. Wouldn't you guys say the Kate skirt's pretty easy? Yeah, I would definitely say yeah. So you want to know the funny story about this photo here? So this is in Florida a couple years ago when I was just finished the pattern. Do you see my legs kind of bent right there? Remember the bike accident I had? I guess I am a little clumsy. Well, my whole leg is swollen. I didn't do Photoshop. I probably should have. So in case you're wondering why that leg looks twice the size of that leg, it's because it's bent because I couldn't straighten it. That was not a pretty day. But anyways, this skirt pattern is very simple to do. It's a little longer in the back, shorter in the front, and it has 2 waistband options. Oh, Judy, I was there to help when you sewed those, and I remember being there in Virginia with you. And by the way, great to see you. You've been working so much, I haven't seen you much. The hardest part is deciding what to change on it or how to hack it. That is definitely the truth. Oh, Trisha, your birthday is the 12th. All right, well, that pretty much sums it up. Well, I look forward to seeing you. You've got your discount code, Black Friday 15, all capital letters. And I'll probably put that out in a newsletter for you too, so you don't forget. And Fashion Sewing Club, I will see you at 4 o'clock today live. Don't forget, Fashion Sewing Club, that lacy pattern is free for you to all Fashion Sewing Club members. So you get the pattern for free, and today we're doing the sew along. So anybody who's thinking of joining the club, do so before 4 and you can join us. All right, bye everyone. Have a great day. And tomorrow at noon, we have the Brother Educators on. And for those of you that like to follow Emily, she has so many cute projects. She's on today, I believe, at 3 o'clock. All right. See ya.